Hello, my name is Takeisha, and you are?
Jamil Strickland.
Okay, is it okay if I call you Jamil?
Yes.
Okay. What brings you in here today, Jamil?
Uh, I had been told by a friend it may be a good idea to come and get some counseling because I'm engaged to get married, and I guess I'm getting cold feet.
Mm-hmm.
The date is approaching. It's about 2 months from now, but I don't know. I love the woman and feel like it's the right thing to do, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just in a bad place mentally. I'm all over the place. I'm not sure if I want to go forward. So
Okay. Okay, so from what I understand is that you're engaged, but you're getting a little nervous about getting married, so you're unsure as to whether you want to get married now. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay. Well, today I'll be helping you address any concerns that you're having. The session, it'll last about 45 minutes. Just to let you know, everything that we discuss, it will be confidential, but I am a mandated reporter. So if I feel as though that you'll be harming yourself or anyone else, I will have to report it. But other than that, feel free to, just say whatever, is on your mind. And if I ask you anything that you feel uncomfortable about answering, just let me know. Okay, so tell me about the person that you're getting married to or wanting to get married to.
Well, her name's Rebecca,
Mm-hmm.
and we've been together roughly 5 years.
Okay.
And we just hit it off.
Mm-hmm.
We don't argue a whole lot, have similar aspirations just to better ourselves. We like the same kinds of things.
Okay.
And so she would be what most men would say a perfect woman, just good personality, a sense of humor.
Okay.
Can cook pretty good, not to be stereotypical,
Yeah.
but just really has it all. I mean, I don't really need to look for anything else, but I guess it's just hard to let go.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just feeling like you're done for life, and I guess that's a lot to deal with.
Okay. So, how long have you two been engaged?
Well, I popped the question
Mm-hmm.
4 months ago,
Okay.
and it felt great. Like I said, I had been planning to do it since last year, and I saved up enough money to get a decent ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I popped the question, and she accepted,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt good. But as of late,
Mm-hmm.
I guess some old flames have been resurfacing, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, am I ready to commit myself to one woman?
Okay. So it sounds like you're second guessing this marriage or this engagement. So how did she react when you proposed to her?
Well, she, was pretty excited. I did it at her family's place.
Okay.
It was a cookout kind of gathering, and her father and mother I had already asked them for permission, and they, gave me permission and gave the okay and blessed it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just thought it was great.
Okay. So when did you start getting cold feet? When did you start feeling like this was something you didn't want to do?
Really, I would say over the last month and a half. We were engaged, and all of the conversation was about, from the fellas, you're locked down, and every time a nice looking lady would walk by or whatever, it would always be you're off limits for you. And I guess I began to just really think about it. Am I ready to make this kind of commitment? And I want to be sure, not just for me but for her. I don't want to sell her short either.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, that's understandable. It sounds like a lot of what's influencing you to have cold feet is from your friends, people around you. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it's definitely friends. I mean, they like her, and that's a plus. And it's not like they don't like her, but it's the jokes. They joke around about it's off limits for you. No more women are partying, and just a lot of stuff about you won't be able to come out, and I don't know. I've talked to a lot of people who are married, and some of them say things change, and some of them say they don't. So it's just all of those kind of things.
Okay. So, what influenced you to want to get married?
Well, I'm 35. I'm not getting any younger, and I just know there's a lot of women out here that aren't that good. From my days of partying, and even when I wasn't partying, just observing different people and their relationships. And I just know if you find a good girl, you gotta keep it. You gotta make sure you hold on to it. And I'm sure women would say the same about a good man, but I felt like she was that one. If I was going to get married, she would be the ideal person to get married to. And a lot of people would say things like, "You better keep her. She's a keeper." And I agreed, but then I don't know. The other part is, do you want to, make this lifelong commitment? Okay. I'm sorry, I just want to turn my phone off.
Okay. So you said you've been together 4 or 5 years?
Well, we were engaged for the last about 4 months ago. I got engaged, but we've been together about roughly 5 years.
Okay. So what do you think will change between now and say if you were to get married? What do you think will change between you and her?
See, that's the thing. I don't know if anything will change because she doesn't seem like I haven't experienced anything that makes me think maybe she's got a little bit of psycho in her, or maybe she's going to flip once we get married. But I guess it's just in my head that will she change? And I think that's the biggest thing. I just don't know. I guess as they say, it's like fear of the unknown.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, let's think about the pros and cons if you were to get married. Have you thought about how if you were to marry her, how would she benefit your life?
I mean, I think she would, because again, it's been a lot of times where I've been down, whether it was stress on the job or even in my own family, just disagreements in the family, that she's been there for me. I know that she's somebody I can depend on. I want kids one day, and I know she would be a great mother. So, and just to have somebody that you can really share your deepest and darkest secrets with, and that's great, so I think those are definitely positives.
Okay. Well, we talked about how she would benefit your life. How do you think you would benefit her life?
Well, I think that I'm a good man. Probably you'll hear that from every man, but I haven't cheated on her. I try to be faithful, which is why I'm here, because I don't want to go in half-hearted and not give her everything. But I think just, again, I've been there for her as well, not just giving her money, but just being there to listen, to, to be a support, to encourage her even in things she wants to do in life. So I just think we both kind of have that going for us, and it's a good pair.
Okay. Well, I think it's good that you actually came in to seek counseling before you make this decision, because it is a major decision. So it is good that you came. before you completely called it off. So I applaud you for that. Um, so have you ever at any point expressed some concerns that you've been having with her?
I never, I've never mentioned any of this to her because, again, I don't even have I don't have a legitimate reason not to get married. You know, I guess it's legitimate in the sense that it's just a fear that I hear is common among men.
Yeah.
And maybe women for that matter, but I don't know, maybe that's something I should ask her, you know, how she feels and just maybe see, but I never brought it up because I didn't want her to think that I, you know, didn't love her or I didn't want to get married to her.
Yeah.
And it could just be in my head.
Yeah. Okay. And before the engagement, have you talked about getting married for a while?
Before the engagement, you know, we would joke around, and you know, she would call me her husband, I would call her my wife. You know, kind of just like fooling around. But I think we just knew that we both had something special. I think I knew that about her, and I think she knew that about me. And all of the compliments you get from family and friends about you guys are great together, and you know, so I think we knew that we had something special, but we never really talked about it before the engagement. I think I just knew it was time and, you know, popped the question.
Okay. Well, how does her family, her parents feel about your engagement? You said you asked them. What did they have to say about it?
Her parents, you know, they were happy, and I had to work for it because her parents are, I don't know, I wouldn't say strict, but they're tight, you know, they're protective. And I had to show them over the course of some time that I wasn't the average guy and trying to get over on their daughter or, you know, scar them or hurt them.
Yeah.
But I think over the years they've seen that, and you know, her father was happy. You know, he actually said, "It's about time." You know, so, and the mother has always been supportive, always loved me from day one. I think the dad was a little harder to crack.
Yeah.
But to make a long story short, they were both excited about it.
Okay. And do you come? It sounds like she has parents who are married, who've probably been together for a while. Have you come from a family where people get married and stay married for a while?
Well, you know, my mother and father, I don't think they ever were married, and right now they're not together. But I know I have an aunt and uncle who they've been together a long time, and then my grandmother and grandfather, you know, they were married for a while and then they got separated. But so I think I see both sides. Some people make it, and you always hear stuff about you got to communicate or this and that. So I don't know, but nigga, you know, to answer your question, I come from a family where it's kind of mixed. You know, some people are seemingly going to make it to the end, and others they haven't.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you have a lot of, you know, different influences. You do have her parents. You know, if anything, you can possibly talk to them and see, you know, what has kept them together for so long. If, you know, you ever have doubts, if you were to get married, or you have your aunt and uncle, or maybe you can talk with your grandparents and see what, you know, didn't work out with them, so that maybe you don't make that same mistake. So, you know, those are some options that you have. If you ever feel like you have doubts in your relationship, to just talk with people who've experienced it and who've gone through marriage. But you know, our session, it is ending. We did cover a lot. We talked about how you are engaged, and you're starting to have doubts about getting married. But overall, it seems like this is something that you want to do. Does that sound about right? It's just possibly your friends that are influencing.
Yeah, overall, I think I'm more leaning towards doing it than not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you like, we can come back next week and pick up where we left off. So how do you want to end our session today?
I guess maybe just setting up the time for next week. I'm drawing a blank, but
Okay.
I was happy with making some progress and just you helping me to look at other things that are going on that may be influencing me, in the back of my mind.
Okay. Well, we did cover a lot. I'm glad you came in today. So I guess I'll see you next week at the same time. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Okay.